Hello, welcome back to my channel. Yes, this is Dr. Oyinka and I am welcoming you back to Dr. OJ Speaks. If this is your first time, welcome. It's so good to have you here. We are amazed and we are excited to be here with you today. Yes, I am so excited by this episode. This is our number 27. I think this is our 27th episode and we are over 3,000 subscribers on our channel, but the journey is still so far ahead because I need you guys to get us to 100K, 1 million and beyond. So please subscribe, share my channel, like, leave your comment below and just help us grow. We need you to grow, but most importantly, I want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed, and for those people who tune in every week to watch our show, we say thank you. Alright, today's episode is brought to you by HD Pro Global Beauty Institute and Body Med Spa, creating and developing independent med spa operators. So if you're interested in being a med spa operator, getting into the beauty industry, earning a sustainable income and still having the time of your life doing it, get with hdproglobal.com and get all the information you need. Now, to the topic of today, I have a few questions for you before we get started. Have you ever heard someone come to you and say, I just feel like taking my life. I just feel like ending it all. I don't really see why I'm here anymore. And you know, they say it in a very, very simple way, like just very dismissive. They don't seem to mean anything by it. Or you see someone who has always been the life of the party, who probably went through some type of life incident, and all of a sudden they change, they recluse into themselves, and they just have a different outlook with life. Those traits are what we call depression. Depression and suicide often go hand in hand. If depression goes on long enough without being treated, it actually ends up leading to suicide. And that is why, you know, statistics in the United States account for the highest rate of suicide amongst the ages 11-year-olds to 14-year-olds. Can you believe that? 11-year-olds to 14-year-olds. So, this month of April, actually April 8th, is World Health Day. And my team and I kind of thought about how can we make this relevant to our audience. And we felt like discussing this taboo, this issue that nobody else wants to talk about, is the best way to raise awareness from our part, doing our part in the community to this issue of depression and suicide. So that's what today's episode is going to be about. I'm going to be doing it in a little bit of an unconventional way, reviewing a lot of movies or a few movies that have been acted out, depicting situations and different scenarios of depression that we have come to recognize in the society. So come along with me as we discuss this very delicate issue, but doing it justice by providing a holistic view of the different ways that depression and suicide is plaguing not only our society but our families at large. I can't wait to see you soon. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Dr. OJ Speaks. I am Dr. Oyinka, the host of Dr. OJ Speaks. We come to you every single week on a brand new episode of this amazing TV show. Now, today's episode is brought to you by HD Pro Global Beauty Institute and Body Med Spa, developing independent med spa operators globally and also helping individuals like myself, of course, transform their bodies and physical appearance in 90 days or less. And I promise you, that promise, they keep it every single time. So get with them, hdproglobal.com. Now to today's episode. Today's episode is a very, very delicate topic that I have chosen in honor of World Health Day. World Health Day was marked, April 8th, 2021. This is a day when the World Health Organization sort of just raises awareness to health and wellness holistically, just addressing every single world health issue, whether it's public health, private health, whether it's physiological, mental, pretty much every type of health condition is addressed on this particular day under the auspice of the World Health Organization. And I thought to myself, it's a very relevant celebration. I don't know if it's a celebration, or at least it's a memorable day that we need to all pay attention to. And the best way that I feel like I can pay attention to World Health Day this year is discussing a situation that a lot of people often shy away from. It's in a lot of communities, even within my community, Africans in the diaspora, mental health issues is something that we don't like to talk about. You know, like where I come from in Nigeria, if you talk about mental, it's like, there's madness in your family, or there's somebody going, crazy, that kind of thing is like a taboo. But mental health, which, can exhibit itself in so many ways, like depression leading to suicide, it's a very serious issue. And I believe that these are some of the conversations that we need to have so people know, people are aware. And some people who might not even be aware of what is going on with them, they just feel they're losing their mind, that they're going crazy. They don't know to ask for help and to seek professional help, because they feel like it's something wrong with them. And they're going, like I said, in my culture, you're a mad person. Madness is not something anybody wants to announce. I say that jokingly, but it is very serious. So today I'm going to be addressing World Health Day by talking about depression and suicide in our communities and using some movies that have been acted out to depict several different scenarios. I'm going to pick about 5 movies that I'm going to be talking about today, and we're going to review some parts of the movie just to give you an overview. And of course, feel free to go back and watch all these movies just to educate yourself and enlighten yourself. Education never ends, people. We gotta keep learning. Come on. Okay, so come with me as I go through these movies and we talk about depression and suicide as it affects our community during this year, 2021's World Health Day. And I am back. Welcome back, people. So I'm going to be using my device today because a lot of the information that I'll be presenting to you, these are facts. These are scientific facts. These are data. These are numbers that have been gathered through very credible sources. So I want to quote and I want to offer the best information to you without overreaching or understating anything. So let's get started. So more than 300 million people worldwide are known, at least those are the people that have been registered or maybe diagnosed to suffer from depression. And each person has a very unique story. It's just the same thing with domestic violence that I personally advocate for through the Honey Drops Foundation. Every single domestic violence situation is very unique to the individual, even though a lot of times the outcomes appear similar, but every individual has a unique experience with these issues. Mental health condition is actually a disease, and it manifests itself in several different ways. Depression is not just a feeling of sadness. I feel sad. I can be sad if somebody, hurts me or somebody says something hurtful to me, but it doesn't translate to me being depressed. But if I can be very honest and open with you, I have felt the feeling, or I have been in the environment of feeling depressed during certain seasons of my life. And I truly understood that I was depressed because I knew that the feeling that I was feeling was not just emotional, but it was actually getting to the place of mental, where I felt my mind just disappearing and waning away from me. So I can resonate with this situation, and it can happen to anybody. People talk about postpartum depression, and a lot of women who go through postpartum depression often feel like that is something they can't talk about. Like, it's like, oh, you had a baby, now you're depressed. What do you have to be sad about? There's so many women who want to have children. There's so many women who are praying for children. Yes, we know that. But it does not negate the fact that just because you have something that millions of people want does not mean that it might not have a negative effect on you. So postpartum depression is real and it affects more women than we can account for. And if you have any new mom in your circle, I would advise that you please check in on them, you pay close attention to them, and you kind of just care for them a whole lot more while they're in that first trimester, or I say trimester or post trimester of having the baby, or even the first year of having that baby. They need a lot of love and attention to get them through, especially if they are first-time moms. But it doesn't only affect first-time moms, by the way, just to correct myself. Like I said today, I want to give you facts. I'm not going to give you BS information that gets you running around or that keeps you guessing. So let's continue. In the US alone, 7.3 million adults suffer from depression. Feelings of depression are, they show up in ways such as, numbness. They just don't feel anything. Just the fact that food is kind of bland. The things that excites most people just seems normal or does not even appeal to them. There is a feeling of hopelessness. And some of this is like, some of it also exhibits itself in self-loathing. The person just hates themselves. They just don't see any good coming out of themselves as human beings. They have difficulty focusing. The energy is decreased. Sadness. The energy is just way down. Like the Bible says, the joy of the Lord is my strength. There's a reason why the joy of the Lord will give you strength. Because joy and happiness brings a lot of strength to the soul. Yes, it does. And then thoughts of death leading to suicide. And that is why I put together depression and suicide. Thoughts of death. These people just want to end it. They just want to end it. And the longer this situation persists without being treated, that thought will overcome the reality that they have. And eventually it happens. And we are losing so many children to this horrible pandemic. I call it a pandemic. It's not just coronavirus or Ebola virus. Suicide is a pandemic because it is happening more often than we dare to even realize. So many children, like I said, in the United States, 11-year-olds to 14-year-olds actually have the highest number of suicide rates in the United States. So think about that for a minute. Let me ask you this. How do you think you can actually help? Not just with, raising awareness, which is great, but how can you add your voice to helping reduce the incidence of depression and suicide in our society? Think about that question and let me know what your thoughts are. And I'll tell you what my thoughts are and what some of the things that I believe I can do personally to reduce this problem and to maybe just bring some sunshine to the world around us. All right, let's get started with our movie reviews. Are you ready? The first movie I'm going to be reviewing today is called, and these are movies that are probably not very popular because, nobody wants to watch sad and gloomy movies, but these are movies that are necessary and they are needed. All right, the first one is Anomalisa. Anomalisa, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Like I said, I'm reading it from this document that I've carefully gathered together for you people, so please bear with me. If somebody out there says, no, she's not saying it right, okay, I'll give it to your keyboard, okay? Anyway, sometimes people you expect, this movie talks about people you expect them to be very happy. Social media gives us that illusion. So this movie depicts the story of an author. I'm an author 3 times, actually 7 times. Manuals, books, and everything. It depicts the story of an author that actually writes books on how people can be happy. He talks about, customer support, corporate efficiency, corporate culture, having a great, happy environment within an organization. That's what his books are about. And he goes around training and helping organizations achieve this state of euphoria. Meanwhile, though, his expertise does not help him because as many people as his work makes happier, he is clinically depressed. Like, talk about a conundrum. Talk about being a contradiction. He's someone that is the apostle of happiness everywhere he goes. He's talking about, how to create a happier environment within the workspace and helping people achieve customer satisfaction and all of those things. But he is clinically depressed. I think we see this reality in our world today where social media gives us this illusion of, oh my God, their lives are so much better than mine. Woe is me. Why am I not experiencing what they're experiencing? And then you take those highlight reels that they're putting on social media, and then you go back to your life and you are so depressed. Actually, statistics have proven that the highest rate of depression is recorded by causes of spending time on social media excessively. Yes, excessive social media consumption does not actually make your life happier and better as we think. It actually makes a lot of people depressed. It makes them sad. It makes them question their existence. It makes them question their journey. It makes them look at themselves as failures and, just seeing what everyone is doing, not understanding that people are just trying to figure out a way to cope and just do the best with whatever they have. And instead of doing the same thing, they go back and they beat themselves up and they slump into this horrible depressed mode, and eventually some people have taken their lives and ended it abruptly just because of social media and just because they have seen someone else's life and assume their reality. One of my mentors a long time ago while I was in Dallas, they told me that, perception is reality for everybody. So what I perceive about you is my reality of you, even though that reality might be totally false. So she said that to me to say, when you're dealing with people, you always have to present yourself in the best light and do the best you can, because it's not always going to be possible for you to always explain yourself to them. So Anomalisa is an amazing movie for you to watch and just kind of get something. I'm going to show you a brief excerpt from that movie and then you can watch the rest later, okay?
What is it to be human? What is it to ache? What is it to be alive? Each person you speak to has had a day. Some of the days have been good, some bad. Each person you speak to has had a childhood. Each has a body. Each body has aches. Look for what is special about each individual. Focus on that. Remember, there is someone out there for everyone. I think you're extraordinary.
Why?
I don't know yet. It's just obvious to me that you are. Our time is limited, we forget that.
Jump right in, and we're going to continue reviewing some of these movies about depression and suicide. And I really truly hope that this episode helps you and you're able to just be more informed, aware, become educated and enlightened about this situation and how it's really hurting our society. How can you contribute to a solution or solutions to this problem? The next movie is World's Greatest Dad. No, that title is Greatest Dad. So you now see this and say, oh, this is a nice father-son, right? But this movie depicts the experience of a who has a son who is stuck on pornography, and addiction to pornography eventually takes his life. And of course, already the fact that he was addicted to pornography and he had so many other vices and people knew him by that, he wasn't someone that was well liked. However, when he died, his dad now staged his death as suicide from depression because the father was suffering from depression himself. So he was able to channel his depression through the death of his son, write a letter that was so convincing, stage the scene, which is probably something that had been playing in his head over and over again. And this movie shows how it is so real. And he was able to play out his depression through his son's unfortunate death. Now, the community that once loathed the boy, they didn't really like him, he wasn't a very popular person, when about the fact that he died, suffered from depression, died suicide, he became a hero. People are quick to feel empathy and they embrace you when you hear that something bad has happened to you. We live in a world society that celebrates negativity way more than the good that happened in the lives of people. Imagine while he was alive, nobody showed him any love. Nobody showed him any support. Nobody showed him that he actually mattered. But when he died and they heard that the cause of his death was depression and suicide, he became the poster child for love and community and family. But the horrible part about this is the fact that the father was able to play out his depression, and through you're going to see his journey, and hopefully, I'm not going to spoil it for you when you watch it. You're going to see how this plays out in his life. But this is a reality, and the reason about these movies was because I feel like these are realities that we deal with every single day, but no one is talking about it. Why are we not talking about all of these things? All right, cool. World's Greatest Dad is another great watch. So go check it out. I'm going to put something up for you guys to see it in a moment. And we will continue on.
Negro, I may be young, but I'm not your boy. I won't pick your cotton or pick up your dishes. Yeah, I sing. I am not your monkey.
I don't.
Stay black, y'all.
Anybody else have their haiku? My name is Lance Clayton. I'm a writer, but so far nothing I've written has ever been published. Ernest Hemingway once said, all he wanted to do was write one true sentence. He also tried to scratch an itch in the back of his head with a shotgun.
Your poetry course, it's not very popular.
There's poetry, sir.
Does it bother you that I have male friends?
Not at all. Why don't we do something together tomorrow?
Yeah, like build a rocket?
Sure, if you want to.
That's retarded.
Yeah. Just 9:30, we can go to a video store, get a movie.
Are you stupid? I hate watching movies.
Kyle's a complex guy. Put on some music you like, Kyle, okay?
No, I hate music.
You hate music?
Yeah.
All music?
You know, the only thing queer than music are the people who like it.
How's Kyle been acting at home?
Are you on your period or something?
Does he seem normal to you?
Oh, yeah. We're going out to dinner tonight with Claire.
What? No.
If you don't act right at dinner, I'll stab you in the face.
All right, so cake. Cake. Who loves cake? I love cake. Oh my God, I love cake. Sorry, my bad. I love cake. But Cake is a movie that features Jennifer Aniston. Everybody knows who Jennifer Aniston is. And it talks about people who, suffer from chronic pain. I have a few friends in my life who have certain conditions that puts them in a chronic pain situation more often than they would like for that to happen. It's by no fault of theirs. I have a paraplegic friend who is constantly in pain. She has nerve damage. She is in a wheelchair constantly. She can't do anything. And then I have another friend who's like a sister to me who had nerve damage. Of course, she's able to walk, but she has chronic pain management to deal with. Hopefully not, but as it is for the rest of her life. And people who fall into this category due to health issues, they end up being depressed. Some of them get to the point where they feel like there's no point living. Why do I have to keep living in this pain? Dying is a better solution for me. And that is where depression always leads to suicide. So Cake is a great watch for you to educate yourself. If you have friends and families, or if you just want to become more empathetic about dealing with people who have disabilities and who have situations that they're dealing with, this is a great movie to watch. This is a great movie for you to watch. So make sure you check it out and let me know what you think.
I made a list, and then I checked on the internet to see if they were different in Mexico.
This is a lot. Trying to sedate the small city? I think you have big problems.
Perceptivo.
How's it going?
I'm doing really well.
I want you to verbalize to Nina how her suicide affected you.
She jumped off the freeway overpass, landed on a flatbed truck heading to Mexico. Her body got stuck in customs for like a week before Nina's husband could even claim it. Way to go, Nina.
Spread your legs a little bit wider.
Should we go on a date first?
Haha.
Listen, you think I could come by and pick up the rest of my stuff? I think it's prudent if we don't see each other.
Nice night, huh?
All right, we've gone through 3 movies so far. 3 movies so far, and I will get to the last 2 in a moment. Let's take some messages from our sponsors. About the last 2 movies that I'm reviewing, talking about depression and suicide and how it relates to real life situations that we deal with as a society. All right, the next movie I'm going to be talking about is interiors, like interior decorators or interior decoration. Yes, interiors. This story depicts the experience of caregivers. A lot of people are caregivers to older relatives or sickly relatives or people or significant others, having to care for people who are suffering from depression or some type of chronic illness can actually lead to developing depression yourself. The people that are caregivers often fall into depressed states and develop from a feeling of resentment that comes from just blaming the other person for their predicament, right? The fact that they have to carry on this burden that maybe for some reason they feel like they never asked for, but they were just thrown into the mix. So that is a form of depression that happens to people who are caregivers. And we have a lot of caregivers in our communities, especially from our African community. We often have to care for our older families, our older parents, our family members. You know, we never put them out. It's not within our culture to put our parents in nursing homes, even though, you know, sometimes that might be the best option, but we always want to do the best we can for our family members. And I just want to say that if this is a situation you're dealing with and you find yourself falling into that resentment mode, I honestly urge you to seek extra help so that way you can ease the burden. You don't end up resenting the person that you're supposed to care for in love, and you don't end up falling into a state of mental illness just because you're trying to hang in there and take on more than you're supposed to. Yes, that is interiors for you. Finally, we're going to talk about a movie that I think a lot of people have seen this movie. Little Miss Sunshine. It's kind of like a phrase. People use it just to get, oh, Little Miss Sunshine, just for little girls who look really cute. But this movie, even though it talks about a family setting, but it depicts the story of how depression can be a family affair. Literally, a family affair. And this is a situation whereby we see mental illness being something that is genetically inherited, or something that affects family members by close association. Oh, you know, so Little Miss Sunshine is a wonderful story that actually shares the experience of several family members globally. So we cannot take it lightly that if somebody within our family network, especially nuclear families, is suffering from depression, we cannot take it lightly or for granted that it might not affect us. So it's better for us to be very aware, self-aware, and aware of our environment, and actually find the best help for that person, so that way it doesn't spread too far wide into the family. And if it's genetic, then of course we understand that there is help. Mental health is not anything for us to be ashamed of, people. It's not something something to be made into a stigma. Come on, we need to move away from this stigmatization of mental health. It is a condition that affects people, and it is taking lives every single day. So why do we want to stay silent? Why do we want to not do anything about it? Why do we continue to believe that we can live in oblivion and obscurity from it without dealing with it? Mental illness is a serious deal, so it leads to, one of the exhibitions is depression and suicide. There's so many other expressions of mental health. You have schizophrenia, you have bipolar depression, you have so many other conditions that I am not professionally equipped to address on this show. This is just an intention within my heart to raise awareness to depression and suicide in honor of World Health Day 2021. I truly hope that this episode has helped you, it has enriched your life, and it has brought you the much needed information, awareness, and enlightenment that you need to make the world a better place. Spread some joy, spread some cheer. On social media, use your platform for hope. Use your platform to bring joy and happiness. Use your platform for peace. Use your platform for solutions, okay? These are some of the ways that I, Oyinkansola Jinadu, will be contributing to helping reduce the sadness, depression, and suicidal rate within our society. But most importantly, this is the best thing you can do. Let me tell you as I close out today. This is the best thing. If you have not heard anything I've said in this episode, which I know is a pretty long episode, and it needed to be long, is this. I'm going to move a little closer into the camera. I am going to zoom in on you. This is the best thing I believe that you can do. The golden rule. Do unto others as you wish for them to do to you. I promise you, observing this one simple rule every single day will definitely make this world a better place. Thank you guys for tuning in with me this week. I hope to see you back again next week. Don't forget to subscribe, turn your notifications on, and come back and see us next week. Like this video, like, share with somebody, and help us spread this message of hope, love, and peace around the world. Bye.